how to do this. This is the front side, and today I'm gonna teach you how to do it. Hello YouTube, my name is Ricardo Lino, and I'm a wheel addict. In this little section of the promise. A frontside slide is for a lot of people the most simple, the easiest grind that you can do with inline skates. But how is it done? Well, that's what I'm going to teach you today. But before I even go ahead and teach you that, let me just tell you that this video is sponsored by Blank, by Rollerblade. Well, Blank is a sub-brand from Rollerblade, which makes aggressive skates, which are the ones that I'm using here. In 2022, the Blank skate was top 2 for me. One of my 2 favorite skates, and I'm very happy and very proud to just have Rollerblade, to have Blank sponsoring one of these videos. So if you want to check these skates, make sure to check the link on the top of the description and support the supporters. Now, back to the video, and let me teach you how to do a frontside. So for you to learn how to frontside, there's a couple of steps that you need to go through, and there's a couple of things that you need to be comfortable with. Also, very important to have a good spot for you to learn it. One of the first things that you're gonna want to learn is the stance, and basically how you're gonna be when you do a frontside. So this ledge may be a bit too high for some people, and for this first part, for this first progression, you can actually just use a sidewalk, a little curb like this. And what you want to do is to actually understand how your body needs to be. And when you do this, what is important for you to understand? Well, if I was on the grind, there's a geometrical shape that you need to think of, and there is a triangle, where each corner of the base of the triangle is your feet, and your head would be the spike, the top corner of the triangle. Each foot and the head would create a triangle. Why is this important? Well, this is important because this is how you're gonna get your balance while doing a frontside. If your feet are too close, if the triangle has the base too short, you very easily are going to slide out and fall, okay? So when you're doing a frontside, you want to be a triangle. Feet wider than any other part of your body. You want the feet to be wider than your shoulders, the feet to be wider than your hips, and your head obviously to be in the center, right here. Remember, geometrical shape, the triangle. This is going to be very important for you to be able to do a frontside. Then, if you're going to be grinding on a ledge or on a coping, it's going to be different from when you do it on the rail. So, on a ledge like these, or on a coping, I do not want to stay completely on top. Usually, my head is a tiny bit outside. Or if I stay on top, there's one thing which is really important, which is for me to lift my front wheels a little bit. So my front wheels, they can be in contact depending on how waxed the surface is or not, but ideally, your wheels do not apply a lot of pressure. So the front wheels on your skates on the front side shouldn't be completely down. If you're gonna be putting your front wheels down, very easily you're gonna get stuck, and very easily you're gonna trip and fall. So you need to keep that triangle shape, as we said, and if you can at least take a little bit of the pressure from the front wheels. Ideally, and while you're learning, you can even put your toes pointing a little bit up, something like here. I'm not doing it yet because there will be some progressions that we need to go through before you start doing this grind, okay? These will be the first 2 things that you need to know. Now, still on the position of your body. If you are on a rail, then you can and you should be completely on top. If I'm gonna be here on this rail, I don't wanna be like this. I wanna be completely on top of the rail. Completely on top of the rail. This is extremely important. It's different from the rail to the coping and ledge. Coping and ledge are the ones that have something on top. The rail is obviously just a rail, nothing else on top. So different position of your body sometimes, but at least your feet will be different. Once you know how you should be on top, now how do we get up there? For us to get up there, well, ideally, you should be able to go and just jump with both feet at the same time and do the triangle, something like this. This would be ideal, but not everyone will feel comfortable to do it. So if you're not comfortable to do that at first, it's okay if you try these the first couple of times, where you could just go and put 1, 2, 1, 2, or 1, 2, both feet down. Something like this, it is okay. But you are only able to do these if you're going completely perpendicular, completely facing forwards to the obstacle, okay? This would not grind, and that's why I'm feeling comfortable to just go and do it. 1, 2, and back. And while I'm learning these, if I don't do a very spread or a very open triangle, it's not really a problem. But the goal is to always jump with both feet at the same time. So once you start feeling more comfortable, of course, you're gonna wanna go and bring your arms down, lift your arms, and when you lift your arms, you can then bring your knees up and put your feet in the right position. Very important, make sure when you hit the rail, you have your feet not completely parallel to the floor. You're gonna want to hit the rail or the ledge like these at first. Don't hit it like these, because if they roll, you can fall backwards, and that's the dangerous part. So make sure to leave your toes pointing up. Okay? Once you start feeling a little bit more comfortable, how are you gonna grind this thing? Now, for you to start grinding, you're gonna need to start coming in an angle. If you're gonna go straight to the obstacle, especially if it's a flat obstacle, it's not going to grind. If I'm gonna go straight, this is not gonna grind. As waxed as it is, and we're gonna speak about wax in a minute, it's not gonna grind. So you're gonna need to start coming in an angle. But there's something else which is extremely important. Remember the triangle? Well, when I do a triangle, it's very important that my feet stay on the inside edge. So I want the inside part of my foot to be leaning in. If I keep my feet straight, this is going to be very sticky. Independently of how wide you are, if you're going to be with your feet straight, this is sticky. You want to stay on the inside edge. So some people prefer to keep their knees together. That's why I spoke about the feet as the edges of the triangle and the head as the top spike. I didn't say anything about the knees. You can keep your knees together. This will help you to slide a little bit more controlled. So you need to come in an angle, and then when you jump, you're not going to jump there. You're gonna jump, rotate a couple of degrees up until you face the ledge just like where you were before. So imagine, previously I was going facing forward to the ledge. Now I'm gonna go sideways, jump, spin, facing forward to the ledge, and then I put my feet. Always knowing that my toes should be pointing up, something like this. And you could see that right here, I could slide right away. I was able to slide. I slided like 2 or 3 centimeters, but it was something. And that only happened because of the angle, right? Now, I can, of course, absorb a little bit more the shock. I can go a bit faster, and I can also go a bit more parallel. But while I'm learning, this is not a problem, okay? Some people prefer to do it, again, just like we started with the 1, 2 type of stepping up into the grind. Something like this. I am not completely against it, as long as when you really want to do it in the future, you're going to start jumping into it. So if you use it as a progression for you to feel more comfortable, it's okay, as long as you know that the goal is to go and jumping with both feet at the same time. Now, just like I said, the next progression would of course be just going completely parallel and then spin and do it. That's simple. Remember, don't put your toes down, otherwise you're gonna get sticky. And to jump out of it, you did it already. It's the exact same. Some people prefer to come out forward. Some people prefer to come out backwards. For me, it doesn't really matter. It really depends on how my body turns while I'm doing the trick. It also depends on the obstacle. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really affect. Very important is, if I go fast, I do not want to go out without spinning. So I cannot do this. This is nothing. I either spin to go forward or backwards. Let me show you both. Forward. And this is about it. Now from here, you can bring this obstacle basically everywhere. You can do it on a rail. If I want to do it on the rail, it's the exact same thing. I come parallel, I spin 90 degrees, I lock. I do know that on the rail, I want to stay completely on top. I don't want to lean back, but the triangle stays the same, wide. Also on the rail, I can come out forward, I can come out backwards. The rail can be flat or can be down. If you're going to be doing it in a down obstacle, very important. Remember the base? Well, you're going to need to twist that triangle, to spin that triangle a little bit. You're going to need to adjust because there's some stiffness here, there's some inclination. You're going to need to adapt that. Same with this ledge. If I want to do a front side on this ledge, I'm going to need to adjust a little bit in order for my balance to be centered. Also, because it's a ledge here, I'm going to need to point my toes a bit up. Let me show you. Rails and ledges, flat, down, you get used to it. The next obstacle that a lot of people want to try to do a front side would be on a ramp. And that's basically the exact same as doing it on a ledge. Now, the main difference is when you first learned how to do the front side on the ledge that I first showed you, I told you to go straight, right? Something like this. Of course, you need to be comfortable with doing the stall that I've just done. If you are able to do the stall, the next thing that you're going to want to do is, after knowing that your toes should be pointing up a little bit, you do not want your toes to touch the deck, the bottom of the ramp. But if you go in a little bit of an angle, if you keep your base wide and your toes up, check what happens. And once again here, you can come out forward, you can come out backwards as you feel comfortable. And this is how you do a front side. I hope you learned something today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, do not forget to subscribe to this channel. If you want to watch more of these, you can watch the course that I've done on how to skate. The link is in the top of the description. And you can also become a patron. Some tiers of my Patreon will have access to the video course on how to skate and how to aggressive skate with the pro skater Bob Ispasov. Also, if you want to support what I do here, you can always become a member. But please let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this video or not. If you didn't like it for some reason, let me know. If you learned something with this video, or if you are struggling with something, please let me know in the comments. I would love to be able to help you. And other than that, finishing this video as I finish every other video, just don't forget why we all started skating. And that is because it's fun. Cheers. And by the way, thank you, Blank. I love the skates.